Good morning, Master Builders. Welcome to Forum 11, Lessons Learned. We are developing people, building businesses, and establishing financial futures. I want to thank you all so much for joining us this morning. We have a very special forum planned for you. We will be featuring many of our members who will be sharing with you some of the lessons they have learned along the way in starting and running their businesses. And then we want to help and give you some tips along the way for things to look out for and maybe some mistakes to avoid in getting your businesses started and running. We would also like for you to share and like this forum. And as always, we will begin with prayer. Dear Lord God, we thank you for this day and for your goodness unto us. We thank you, Lord God, for each and every one who is gathered this morning for our Master Builders Academy. We ask you, Lord God, to let the word go forth that they need, that will help them to get started, even if they need to change their mindset, whatever they need, Lord God. We ask you, Lord God, to remember each and every presenter. Help them, Lord God, to be able to focus and to give the clear message. We thank you for our president, Mr. Michael Ford, and also for our vice president, Mr. John Mays. And we ask that you would let us have a successful forum. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen. Enjoy.
Good morning, Master Builders. I'm Susan Newhoffen. I'm an account director at Red 7E. We are an account agency downtown, and I'm also a Master Builders Academy board member. I'm here to go over the mission statement and the core values for Master Builders Academy. Our mission statement is developing people, building businesses, and establishing financial futures. Our core values: be punctual, be dependable, be excellent, be detailed, be passionate and motivated, be optimistic and hungry, be hungry and studious. Sorry, I messed that up a little. Be supportive, be benevolent, and be ethical overall. I want to talk to you for a minute about the mission statement. I think you're going to put that up here right now. Our mission statement is developing people, building businesses, and establishing financial futures. And I've seen this in play since I joined Master Builders Academy. And I want to talk about one Master Builder in particular, and I know she probably won't mind too much because she knows that she's one of my favorites, and that is Bridget Johnson. She recently purchased her first piece of property, her first real estate investment, which I thought was amazing. And it's so hard when you want to do something, but you don't know how. You don't have the support. You don't have the you don't have the know-how. You don't have that experience, and that's what Master Builders does. We all rallied, and people like John Mays, people who have invested in properties for years, gave her the advice that she needed so that she could do this. Now, this was also her building a business. She's starting businesses, and this isn't her only business. That's what's amazing, is this isn't her only business. But the most important thing I learned from her was about establishing financial futures. When she went to buy that property, she took her granddaughters with her. She wanted her granddaughters to see what their grandmother was capable of and what she could do. And so that those girls would look at her later in life and say, saw my grandmother do that 30 years ago. I got this. These people that are coming before you today for lessons learned for business success, these are all successful business owners, and they own more than one business. They've made the mistakes. They've gone to the school of hard knocks. They've had great success, but they're going to talk to you about all that stuff so that you don't have to go through it. You can learn from them. And that's one of the great things that Master Builders does, is if you need advice, if you need help on that kind of thing, that's what we're here for. So really want you to enjoy this forum. It's forum number 11, Lessons Learned for Business Success.
Welcome, Miss Susan. Thank you so much for opening us up. Thank you, Miss Mary, for that powerful prayer. And we really appreciate the work that you guys are doing. You hit it on the nail. There's some people that have been so fantastic in their growth, and Bridget is one of them, Susan's one of them, Mary's one of them. And I just wanted everybody right now, we have such a special forum set for you today. I want you to do me a favor. Hit the like button, hit the share button, do it right now. And everybody, there should really be, this number should double just in the next few seconds, because what we want to do in this forum this morning is to actually help you in the formulation of, some of us are like, oh, I don't know yet what I want to do. I don't know the business that I'm wanting to get involved in, but this forum here is going to actually bring business owners on, and each one of the business owners are going to give you one or two lessons learned for business success. They want to just come. Each one of these people are most of them are recent business owners, at least in the last 5 years. And so there's some things that they want to help you to navigate. So right now we're on, if you're watching us on YouTube, I want you to go ahead, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, hit the bell button, so to make sure that you get all of the, anytime we go live, it comes right to you. I hope you're ready. I'm telling you right now, if you don't have your notes out, you're messing up already. I want you to grab your notes, pull your notes out, and let's get ready to learn. Each one of these people are business owners, and the first one we're going to bring is Miss Nicole Robinson. Nicole Robinson is a superstar. I just want to just throw it out there to you. She's a superstar. She's been a part of Master Builders Academy for about 5 years, and she has not only gotten multiple degrees since she's been here, but also she started 2 businesses. One is called, she's the co-owner of A&N Health and Wellness, but also she's a therapist for owner, and she's the owner of Goals Therapy. So I want to just bring Miss Nicole Robinson on. Get ready, get ready, get ready. Thank you so much.
Good morning, Master Builders family. I am so happy to be with you once again to kind of talk about a few lessons learned about when I was starting my business. Again, I'm the owner of Goals Counseling and Therapy, and also the co-owner of A&N Health and Wellness. Now, I'll tell you, starting these businesses was not easy, but it was once you are working towards a goal that you are real passionate about, even though it's not easy, it's well worth it. And so I'm first of all, I'm happy to be a part of Master Builders, because of Master Builders, I was able to get the confidence and the courage to step out and to start some of my businesses. But just to give you talk a little bit about how I got started. I'm a licensed marriage and family therapist, and I knew that one day I wanted to work for myself. My goal was I didn't want to work for somebody else where they get half of the money. I wanted to have my own business where I got all the money from my hard work. It didn't go to anybody else. All the money came to me. And so when I first started out, I knew that in order to have a business, I had to stay working full time. And you know how that is. I had to work for somebody else full time in order to get everything ready for me to start my own business. But the issue was, when do you know when it's time to leave your full-time job? When do you know it's time to leave your full-time job? And so there were some things that I had to do, because I think I probably stayed at my full-time job a little longer than I had to, because I was fearful, and I was, I just didn't know, when you're stepping out and doing something, working for yourself full time, you're like, okay, you don't have that full-time job to fall back on, like you're going to get a paycheck. So you are working for yourself in order to get that paycheck. So again, I had some reservations, but I actually stayed longer at the job that I wanted to. So what I wanted to encourage you today to not make the mistake that I did and stay longer than you have to is to keep your exit strategy before you. Keep your exit strategy before you. Your goal at the end of the day, like my goal at the end of the day, was to work for myself, to be self-employed. And so I had to keep my exit strategy in front of me and be actively working on exiting my full-time job. So what did that look like for me? Well, I knew I pay rent where I see my clients at. So I paid up my rent for about 7 months because I knew that, okay, you're not going to be, you can't rely on your paycheck from your regular job. So I started getting things in order to prepare for my exit. Because remember, you don't want to stay. Your goal is to work for yourself. If that's one of your goals, is to work for yourself. So you don't want to stay longer than you have to. But as long as you're keeping your exit strategies in front of you and you are every day working on a plan to exit, then you will, because sometimes we can start we're working on stuff, but when we don't keep our goals in front of us, it kind of leaves our mind. So I want to encourage you today, don't stay longer at that full-time job if you don't have to. Keep your goals in front of you and how you are planning on working for yourself full-time. Let me tell you something. Working for myself full-time is the best decision that I ever made. The best decision. All of my fears that I had, man, I'm telling you, I was scared for nothing. It was the best decision that I made when I said, you know what, I'm getting all my money for myself. I don't have to do a time sheet or punch anybody else's clock. I am in control of my own schedule. I'm in control of my own business. It was the best decision I made. So I just want to encourage you, keep your goals in front of you and always continue to work on your exit plan. Thank you.
All right, that's a powerful tip. Thank you, Nicole. Everybody, I hope that you're writing this down, because what Nicole has given us is exactly true. Thinking about your exit strategy, and I get this all the time where I hear people ask me about, Michael, how do I know it's the right time for me to come off my job in order to run my business? Or how do I know when it's the right time for me to come off my job so I can do this real estate? But I want to caution everybody, you need to really think it through. Sometimes, I had a 5-year plan to come off the fire department. So for 5 years, I worked and saved and started building things so that in 5 years I would be able to exit. Also, you got to think about this. For those of you that are going into real estate, sometimes having that job to help feed your initial investments in real estate is also a great opportunity. So you got to that's something that you need to weigh. Also, it's great when you go talk to some mentors. They can help you make sure that you're thinking through all the different facets of the exit strategy. So thank you, Nicole. We really appreciate that. I wanted to go right now to one of my favorite people, if not my most favorite person in the whole wide world. I may be a bit biased, but I think the woman is fantastic. And the woman is my wife, Miss Andrea Ford. She is the owner of Executive Class Transportation, and I have watched her not only grow, but I've watched her become one of the best business owners that I have ever met. And she is a hard worker at best. And so I want to just bring her in, let her hear. I want you to glean from her experiences, and I want you to just receive her now, Miss Andrea Ford.
Good morning, Master Builders. Again, my name is Andrea Ford, owner of Executive Class Transportation. So excited to speak to everyone this morning. Just have a few things I'd like to share because in business, there are so many lessons that we learn. So many things that we go through, so many things that come at us that a lot of times we're surprised. And that's some of the things I want to talk about this morning. So just to give you a little background of what we do, Executive Class Transportation, we are a black car service here in Louisville, Kentucky. We're based out of Louisville, but we do travel. So if you're leaving from Louisville or coming anywhere near, you need to go somewhere, we can take you there. Or if you're coming into Louisville, we can come get you and bring you to Louisville. So that's kind of what we do. We do a lot of airport transfers. We do corporate transportation, wedding transportation. We do distillery tours, museum tours, even family reunions, date nights, anything that comes across transportation arena, we can make it happen. So that's just a little background of what we do. So in getting started with Executive Class Transportation, there were so many things that we just didn't know. You know, we teach here at Master Builders and everywhere is to do your research, and that we did our research. You know, thought we knew exactly how we wanted to get started, what we needed, go get our vehicles, need to get a building. You know, we need to get all of our certifications and things like that. But there are still things that you just don't know until you get started. Once you get started, things start coming up and you're like, I didn't know I needed to do that. So there's so many things that you just don't know. So I cannot stress enough is do your research. And then after you do your research, do some more research. So we talk a lot about going out on YouTube University, and that is awesome. That is wonderful. Get on Google, look up anything that has something to do with what you're doing. For me, I looked up different car businesses. I looked up, you know, the prices of vehicles. I looked up the type of vehicles that people liked and the things that people want to ride in. Because if you're a black car service, you don't want just any car. You want something new. You want something nice. You want your people to feel comfortable and you want them to feel special. So those are some things that I thought about and I was like, oh, okay, yeah, we got this down. Let's get started. Let's go. And then we get started and things start coming at you. You know, so we get this building where we're thinking, oh, okay, we've looked at everything. We've inspected on how much it's going to cost and utilities for it and all of these things. But once we got in there, we found out, well, oh, this building is sitting on this big lot that has a huge MSD bill. So getting started, that was a lot for us to try to handle. So something else that we just didn't know. And then, you know, once we started working with people and finding out some things, that was so helpful. So another thing I want to admonish you to do is reach out to people who are doing what you're doing. I know that sounds weird because we think of it as competition, but not so. There is so much business out there that those that are already doing it, they're not intimidated by you getting started. In fact, they will even help you out. And I've come to find that out as well. I've partnered with so many other black car services here in Louisville and in surrounding areas, not even just in Louisville. If I know someone who wants to go somewhere, now I have connections to reach out because I started talking to people and letting them know what I'm doing and asking for help. There's nothing wrong with asking, you know, how did you do this? How did you get started with that? Have you ever ran into this issue? People will tell you. You know, we might be apprehensive and think, well, they're not going to want to tell me what happened wrong because they don't want me to do it right. Not so, not so. Reach out to people, find out who's doing what you're doing and ask them. All they can say is no. So why not try? One last thing, join groups and organizations where you can find and connect with people that are not only doing the same thing you're doing, but can point you in the direction of others so that you can do more research by asking the questions, finding out what people like, finding out what businesses are looking for what you're doing or finding out what people are looking for what you're doing. So there's connections, and the way you find connections is you do more research. I can't stress it enough. Research, research, research. And even in your research, find out other types of research that you can do. So that's what I want to leave with you all today is to do more and more and more research. So Have a great day, Master Builder. So glad you joined us this morning.
Thank you, Andrea. I hope that you all are taking some of these notes down. If you would, throw something in the chat that Andrea just said. Go ahead and throw something in the chat, because I want you all to make sure that you're grabbing these nuggets, all right? One thing that Andrea mentioned is this thinking about doing research. So that's something, of course, you know, in Master Builders Academy, we promote you doing research every day. But I also want you to remember something that she said, and I think it's so important. Sometimes we think, oh my God, I can't connect with somebody else because they're the competition. Well, yes and no. You know, sometimes the competition, it may be helpful for you to go and make that connection. Let them know that you're in the area, and it may be that there may be some collaboration that can take place, and that we found, and we're certainly surprised by that. The other thing that she mentioned was, you know, joining groups. I'm telling you, Master Builders Academy, if you're not a member of Master Builders Academy yet, you are missing out on a tremendous opportunity to make connections with other business owners. I want to challenge you today. Don't wait one more day. Become a Master Builders Academy member, and make sure that you're connecting with these different people. These people have such a wealth of knowledge. You're thinking about starting a business? Are you thinking about getting in real estate? Are you thinking about investing? Are you thinking about writing a book? Are you thinking about starting a nonprofit organization? Whatever it may be, maybe you just want that personal development and you're trying to be promoted on your job. Well, guess what? This is the crew that you need to be hanging with. So thank you, Andrea. And I hope you are grabbing some of these nuggets. The next person that I want to bring in is Miss Lakeisha Morris. And now most of y'all know her as the Cake Lady, all right, from Deshae's Cakes and Treats. But she's also the owner of New Heritage. Maybe she'll talk about some of that. But I just want you to just understand, she is a star in the making, and she's a new business owner. I think she's been in business maybe 3 years now. So please glean from Miss Lakeisha Morris.
Good morning, Master Builders. Good morning, good morning, good morning. I am so excited to be here. Happy Juneteenth, y'all. We celebrating today. Listen, I'm going to go ahead and jump right in. I am loving this information that's coming forth so far. Listen, we're talking about lessons learned in business. So one of the most difficult things to do as a new business owner is knowing how to price your product, right? How much do I charge? And a lot of us, many of us, when we first start out, we are charging way less than what we should be charging. So I'm going to get into some tips for you all right now. And hopefully at the end of this, you will feel more empowered and encouraged to charge what you are worth. Okay. So tip number one, don't be the person doing it cheaper. Listen, everybody's tempted to do this. When you first start out, you're like, oh, you know, well, maybe I should just make it this price. You do not want to be that person. Okay. Let me tell you what's going to happen. You're going to continuously be overworked and underpaid. All right. And as a business owner, that's not what you want, right? You started your business so you can make money. Okay. So look, more customers does not mean you're making more money when you are not pricing your product effectively. Okay. You want to make sure that you are profiting and not just producing. Yes, we want to be producers, but we want to make money off of what we are producing. Okay. Tip number two, this is the big one. Understand your value. Okay, for me, when I first started out, I am a self-taught baker. All right, I've not been professionally trained. So when I first started out, I'm like, listen, I can't charge $100 for a cake. Was outrageous to me. I'm like, $100? That's crazy, right? So that was not, I thought that was the most outlandish thing ever. But guess what? Who cares? Okay, if I am producing a high quality product, then I deserve top dollar for my work. Okay, no one's going to tell you that. You have to believe that for yourself. Okay, so you have to know your worth. So this is what I want you to do. Train your mind to add these 3 words to the service that you provide, which means that. Okay, I'm going to say it again, which means that. And I'm going to give you an example. So for my business, we make custom cakes and treats, which means that you do not have to worry about your cake for your event, which means that you get to take all of your energy, all of your time into putting that focus on, are you going to have fun? Are your guests going to have fun? Which means that your event is going to get your attention and not somebody else's. So when we do that, when we add those 3 words, which means that it really helps us understand the value. I'm not just offering a cake, right? I'm offering you a peace of mind, right? That you don't have to stress about your event. This cake is going to show up. You don't even got to worry about it, right? So understand, add those 3 words. This will help you realize value, okay? We working. Tip number 3, work for the right clients. This is huge. Understand, everybody is not your customer. This is something that I have had to learn. And, you know, sometimes when you get that first no, it might be tough, okay? But let me tell you, you have to ask yourself this. Are you a charity or are you a business, okay? Are you a charity or are you a business? Nobody's haggling over Louis bags, right? They're not haggling over them prices. No one's haggling when these Yeezys drop and all the kids is buying them. Listen, whatever price is set, that's the price it is, okay? So we have to have that same confidence in ourselves, okay? And there's that confidence in that brand, that name. So you have to have that confidence in what you are offering to your customers, okay? And this can be a challenge at first because it may feel like, oh, I'm excluding people or I'm not, you know, these people can't come. Listen, this is a perfect time. What does core value number 10 say? Or 9 maybe. Be benevolent, okay? So if you want to give something away, give something away. Help somebody, okay? But that does not mean you have to cheapen your product or lessen your value, okay? Charge what you are worth, okay? Tip number 4, all right. Get rid of your limited beliefs, okay? If you don't get it right at first, keep trying, okay? It's lessons. We're talking about lessons learned. So maybe the first 5 times you don't get it right. That doesn't mean stop, right? You may find somebody at competition that comes in and is undercutting prices. There's always going to be that person. You just make sure that it's not you, okay? You have to believe that you are worth every cent, okay? Your value is important. So you have to make sure that you believe that and do not waver, okay? Don't be afraid of no, okay? I've heard no so many times. I'm like, well, listen, no just means there's going to be a new opportunity, okay? Or a new option, all right? So we need to take the fear out of hearing no, okay? The client that is for you will have no trouble paying what you are worth, all right? And my last tip number 5, invest in yourself, okay? This is so important. This is what we do here at Master Builders. Someone else talked about, Miss Andrea, she talked about joining in with the group. This is how you invest with yourself. Take a course, become a member of Master Builders, study, research, learn a new technique, learn something new within your wheelhouse, okay? It's so important. This is what increases your capacity. Get a mentor. Ask for help where you feel like you're lacking, okay? All of this is important because when your capacity increases, your product value doubles, okay? When you invest in yourself, you are literally adding value to your product, all right? So I want to encourage every entrepreneur, every business owner, especially Black-owned businesses, charge what you are worth. Be passionate about your value. All right, that's all I got. Thank you.
Lakeisha trying to bring that heat. Lakeisha's trying to bring that heat. That's what I'm talking about. Listen, I hope that you are taking massive notes right now. And I want to just reiterate something she said. You need to understand your worth, right? That goes both ways. Then if you junkie and you just getting started and it ain't that good, well, understand your worth. Maybe you should be charging a little bit. But when you get good, when you start really becoming quality, then you will understand, well, hold on, I need to step the game up a bit. I'm worth more. Man, I'll never forget, I was starting our business, and we was providing such a tremendous service. I had a lady stop me, and she pulled me to the side. She was like, Michael, let me just tell you something. She said, man, you're charging probably 80% lower than what you should be. I was like, what? She said, you're charging 80% lower than what you should be. And she said, Michael, she said, I pay for this service on this end, and this is what I pay. And you are way better than the service I'm getting right now. And man, it changed my mind. I said, well, and it's scary, but Listen, that's where you need to get good feedback from your customer base. Once you become in demand, then you got to ask yourself, okay, is it time for me to raise those prices? All right. One more thing that she said, everybody is not your business. All right. That's a hard one, because sometimes we throwing our marketing at everybody. I want everybody, but guess what? Everybody is not your business. You need to find out who is your business. Great job, Keisha. Great job. Listen, I want to bring the Hall of Famer in real quick. I want to bring the Hall of Famer, Miss Shandy Boyd Smith. You all know her as owner of the Hall of Fame Fitness, and I want you to hear these nuggets that the Hall of Famer has for you. Shandy?
Good morning, Master Builders. Good morning and welcome, welcome, welcome. So today I am going to discuss the elephant in the room, right? What does that mean, the elephant in the room? I'm talking about dealing with difficult clients today. And it's really inevitable in any business, is this idea that difficult clients are just a part of doing business, right? There's no way around it. And there are many reasons as to why clients are difficult or unhappy. We got to be ready for it. And we got to be prepared. And honestly, you are not going to please everyone. And that's okay. But to be transparent, that's where I got stuck. I wanted to please everybody, right? So I am in this health coaching business. And basically what that means is I work with people where they are, I partner with them, guide them, support them to make wellness plans and set health goals. And so I have come across many people who say all the time, that they want help to lose weight, exercise, or eat healthy. However, I have had clients who not only struggle with making progress, but they won't even apply themselves, nor follow the recommendations that I give them. And so after stepping back and reassessing their goals and actions, the client really never, takes any willingness, right? Or any initiative to change. And so at that point, I had to think about it. Is it the reason why they're failing is because of me? But after some time and realization, that was not it, really. It was their why, not my what or my how. And because health is a very private and sensitive topic to discuss, many people are just not open to that. And that's okay. And so the lesson I've learned is that some can be put off due to fear, anxiety, or trauma from a past experience that they've, or even watch someone that they love go through. And so in these situations, I've learned to be not just passionate, but more compassionate, right? And not just supportive, but more supportive through the process. I like to ask if there was something that may have helped them in the past. That helps them recognize a strategy that they are familiar with and reachable within the SMART goals framework. And it helps me to help them to find what works, right? So again, I've also learned to reframe my comments from being nagging or telling people what to do. You need to do this, you need to do that. And instead, something as simple as asking them, what do you want to do? How do you want to do it? What do you want to prioritize with your health, right? This gives them ownership and accountability to show up in their own process, growth, and follow through. Another lesson I've learned is that people feel unheard, right? And that's huge as it relates to health, because that's really what keeps people from being healthy, right? And so I've heard clients say, nothing is working. Nothing seems to be working. And that's where active listening comes in. Having good eye contact, not interrupting, paraphrasing the feelings and concerns that your clients are trying to convey to you. Asking not just questions, but more detailed questions, and even sometimes sharing my own testimonials with my help has always helped. What I've also learned is that health is not a one-size-fits-all model, right? Because everyone has different health needs, personalities, and lifestyles. The programs I offer are pretty basic and standard. However, what I've found is that following a program step by step and not considering those things that shape one's livelihood or considering their needs will not deliver results. It just won't. Now, my programs are now more client driven. And that what that means is I've learned to tweak them where needed to accommodate my clients, right? And so that's another thing that I've learned. What I've also learned in dealing with clients, difficult clients, is that they want solutions. And sometimes they just don't know how to get them. Or they want solutions and their expectations of what looks like does not match with what they've communicated with me. So I've learned to do consultations on the front end, ask questions to help them articulate what they need in their own words, and discuss those expectations to see if they are a good fit. Not everyone is a good fit, and that's okay too, right? I've learned that I can't save everyone. And like Lakeisha said, work for the right clients. I've also learned that it's ultimately a client's choice and readiness for change. Even though I may have adjusted until I couldn't adjust anymore, right? I've done my due diligence and the client just hasn't responded. It is then when, with a difficult client where, you really have to make a decision to really graciously and to release them from that coaching relationship. And that's okay. What this does is, there's no judgment there, or even if it's done graciously, jeopardizing a future opportunity to work with them. And so again, that's something that I've learned in my business. Now, in closing, the biggest lesson that I have learned is it's not my authority, education, certifications, degrees, or the fact that I'm a 5-time Hall of Famer and former professional athlete that makes for a successful business. That's not it. But the success lies in the partnership, compliance, and consistency in my clients, yes. And even your clients, yes, right? And that's why I say the elephant in the room is dealing with difficult clients, because there's no way around it. You're going to have to deal with difficult clients because we can't please everyone. And so again, thank you again today. And that's what I've learned with dealing with difficult clients. Thank you.
That's awesome, Shandy. I'm telling you, what she's saying is so correct. I want y'all to write this down. Dealing with difficult people is an owner's skill. All right. If you're going to be a boss, then you have to have the skill set to deal with difficult people. If you're looking to get promoted on your job, listen to me closely. Sometimes people say, well, I don't want a promotion because I don't want to deal with these people. Listen to me. It's a skill set. All right. And it's a skill set that can be learned. And you can begin to navigate all kinds of difficult situations, and you will become in demand. Great job, Shandy. Thank you so much. Listen, I want to bring this young lady. She's a young entrepreneur. I don't even think she's been in business a year yet. But she's doing big things, and I want you to hear from one of our young people with Master Builders Academy, Miss Sarah Ford. She's the owner of Photoverse Merch. Sarah?
Good morning, Master Builders. I'm Sarah, and as he said, I've recently started my business, Photoverse Merch. Today, I'm going to talk about Just Do It. So, Photoverse Merch is an online store that has a wide range of items, from mugs to phone cases, backpacks, blankets, more. My original thought was that I wanted to put some kind of encouraging quote or phrase on things that people can use in their daily lives. So I did some research on how to start an online store and how I should set up my website. Then I thought some more about what I wanted my store to have. I settled on using Bible verses and having the background be photos that I had taken. I tend to take photos of nature while I'm out and about. So those ended up being nice backgrounds for my encouraging verses. So after I decided what I was going to do, I did more research. I decided several times on dates to debut my store, and each time I didn't, because I told myself that I needed to research this one other thing, that I needed to plan out just one more thing. Now, don't get me wrong, research is very important. We talked about earlier how important it is, and it's good to have a plan, but don't get analysis paralysis. Once you have your idea, you have an idea of how it will work, just do it. You'll never be ready to start the business. You'll never be ready to start your business if you try to have every single detail planned all the way out. And some things you won't learn until you're in it anyway. For example, I knew that I wanted to use social media for marketing my store. And I basically knew how social media works, but with social media, it's not until you actually start and begin posting things that you can see what types of posts work best for what you're trying to do and how you interact with potential clients and how you reach the most people who will buy things from you. So I needed to get started and actually begin seeing what works best for my store. So whatever it is that you've been sitting on and planning out for a while now, just do it. Get started. Don't sit on that idea for months and years without ever actually attempting anything. Just do it. Thank y'all.
Thank you, Sarah. Wonderful presentation. You know, Sarah said something that is the total truth, and I want you all to hear this. Somebody write down, just do it. Put that in the chat, just do it. I want y'all to realize this. So many people, I had a person who started this business, and they were telling me about it. They said they were going to be researching it, and then this was 17 years ago. Then another year, the next year, they say, yeah, I'm getting close to finishing. I'm finishing researching. And that was 5 years past, 10 years past, 15 years past. Finally, they said, I got it done. And I was like, so it took 15 years for you to come up with this. You know why? Because they were so focused in on, I got to get it right. Got to know all the details. Listen to me. Sometimes you just got to do it. Come in with the most issue you come in, but then just get it done. All right. Thank you, Sarah. That's wonderful. Listen, I want to bring in the Vice President of Master Builders Academy. He's a superstar all over this city, all over this nation, Mr. John Mays.
Hey, what's up, Master Builders? I know y'all loving this forum. This is probably one of the best ones ever. My notes, I can't go fast enough typing my notes because we get nothing but the best. You are seeing all these business owners give you their 1 or 2 top biggest tips. And so if we're not taking this, I've learned so much in this time. I've been encouraged. I've been inspired. You know, the one thing I've found about being a business owner, being an investor, and just being a person who wants to think and do better with every area in their life is that you constantly facing new challenges and that there's constantly things coming up against you that's bringing you new pressure. You know, because if we're going to get to the place that we never thought we'd be able to get to, and we probably don't even know people who are able to get to some of these places, then we're going to have to do things that we don't know people who've done those things. Like, you know, we're facing pressures that sometimes there's nobody there who can tell us what to do. Sometimes there's nobody there who can hold our hand through it. And we just got to be able to work through it the best that we can in the moment. And so the key that I've found through this whole journey is really 2 things, 2 specific things that really completely changed the way I look at everything. And they have jump-started and accelerated my work, my businesses, my family life, my spiritual life. Like literally every single thing has been accelerated based on these 2 things. And if you've ever done any mentoring with me before, you probably know what I'm about to say. But the first one is know who you are. Know who you are. Oftentimes, we don't know who we are. When we look in the mirror, we don't see all the value that we bring. And then also, when we look in the mirror, we're so busy looking at the fat rolls, we're looking at the dimples, we're looking at the miscolored stuff on us. And I'm talking about the fullness of our life, just using your body for an example. But it's like we're always looking at the stuff that's wrong with ourselves, and we don't spend nearly enough time looking at the stuff that's right. looking at the stuff that we add tremendous value in, looking at the stuff that makes us unique and special and different. You know, what is the stuff about me? What's my superpower? What is it that I bring to the world that can't nobody else bring in the way that I'm bringing it? What is it that's my world-changing skill value point? And then how can I monetize it? How can I take what I do and do it all the time? How can I take that thing that I do and incorporate that into my ministry? How do I incorporate it into my businesses? How do I incorporate that into my job? How do I incorporate that into my family life? How do I incorporate that into every single thing that I do? So now I'm being able to be my best self because I know who I am. I know who I am. I know the things that make me strong and different and special. And that's okay for you to celebrate that stuff. It's okay for you to let the bear out the cage. And with all the things that you're not, guess what? That's part of what makes you what you are. And you special and you great and you different. And so that's number one, is to know who you are. Then I'm going to hit you with the second one. And this is just as powerful, if not more. And this stuff is not easy to do. You know, but you got to take the exercise of knowing who you are and then writing it down, define that thing in as clear and simple words as you can. And not to say you're limiting yourself, but what's your superpower? You know, what is that thing about you? Number two, though, is what do you want? What do you want? This simple question, I've asked this to people in senior leadership positions, business owners, investors, and oftentimes people are unconfident because they don't know what they want, or they got a little bit of shake in the game. So when stuff starts getting hard and all that pressure I was talking about earlier comes, all these new trials and tribulations, these different things that are happening to you, we start to fold up because we really don't know what we want. But you need to take the time. And the best thing that I ever did was we took about 2 weeks. And I'm telling you, we was on our knees. I'm telling you what we were seeking. I'm telling you, we did everything we could do is read books, videos. I mean, we did everything we could do because we said, what is our wealth vision? What does success look like for me and Joy Mays, my wife? Like, what is that thing that we want? And then once we got to a place where we could articulate and feel good about that I want to be abundant in Christ, walking in my anointing every single day. And I want to do it without money getting in the way. So you got something inside of you that I know what I'm looking for. I know for a fact I want to make every day of my wife's life special. I want to be a great coach to my kids. I know I want to be an owner. That's part of I know I want to be an encourager and a giver. That's part of what is special to me. That's what I want. That's what I want to spend my time doing. That's what I want to put my energy and resources toward. That's what I want to be known for when I pass away from this earth, is those specific things as part of this wealth vision. And so when you know that, you become very confident. And then you get two things. You get your yes. So my yes is powerful, because if I say yes, it's just good. I'm going to give everything I got to do it. Every single thing. Nothing's going to get in the way because I got my yes. And then number two is I got my no, which is even more important. Is I can say no to stuff and I feel perfectly good about it because that's outside of my wealth vision. That's somebody else's wealth vision. That is a good thing, but that's not for me. And now I can spend my time, my energy, my resources doing the things that are for me. And so defining those two things, who are you and what do you want? That's the two learning nuggets. Next up, I would like to introduce Shannon. And so if you don't know Shannon Ballard, you are missing out, because she has Balashay's Home Design and Staging. She is going to be and is on her way to being one of the premier home designers and stagers in the state of Kentucky. She's right here out of Louisville, Kentucky. And so glad that she's going to be up next to share with you her top learnings this year.
Thank you. Good morning, Master Builders. My name is Shannon Ballard with Balashay Home Designs. We professionally stage your homes to sell. We decorate and design your existing homes to give it a fresh new look. Now, 3 lessons I've learned as being a business owner to help build confidence. 1 is get a mentor. 2, get certification and specialized knowledge. 3, join organizations that are affiliated with your industry, in addition to joining private FB group, Facebook groups in your industry. So why get a mentor? As a mentor, they have the blueprint. They have the blueprint. I have a mentor that's in California. She's not in the same state. So I'm not actually in direct competition, which is fine. Like someone said earlier, it's okay to have competition. It's okay to learn from your competition as well. But my mentor in California, she shares all the secrets. I mean, she tells me everything that I need to know to be successful. And she also challenges me. As a mentor, they can challenge you and help you identify your weaknesses, and they encourage you to build on your strengths. For example, she showed me like how to tag photos to get found on Google. She also helps me with the pricing structure for my area. So they have different little formulas and things that they can use to help you be the best in your area. Now, why get certifications and specialized knowledge is important. You can better serve your customers when you're able to solve their problems with confidence. Also, with some certifications, you have access to tools and services not available to the general public. So getting that special knowledge and special certifications is truly sets you apart and is a game changer for you. Now, why join organizations in your industry? There's 3 reasons why. First, they can help keep you in the loop of what's on trend, what's working, what's not working in the industry. Second, some affiliations offer greater rates on business insurance, access to funds for operating costs, a lot of different things, a lot of different perks for being a part of different organizations that are in your industry. And lastly, community. When you are part of organizations that are doing what you're doing, when you're like, they actually help you, like boost your morale. They like, you put your stuff out there. They'll like comment on it and tell you what you're doing great and what areas you can work on. And then they give you honest. They're honest with you on how your work looks. If it's great, if it's not so great, where you can work on things, and just kind of help you sharpen your skill. So the 3 lessons are: get a mentor, get specialized knowledge, and join an organization in your industry.
Oh, wow. Y'all just caught that. Get a mentor, get specialized knowledge, join the organizations in your industry. Like, those are the baseline. Once you know what you want, you going after it. She just taught you what to do. So you don't have to be an expert at everything. You can hang with the experts and they'll make you an expert. I love that. Great tips right there, Shannon. That was powerful. The next up we got is Miss Bridget Johnson. Now, I know you heard Susan earlier in the forum give Bridget Johnson some shout outs. And so we won't go too far about this author, business owner, real estate investor. She's like quite the mogul. And so I'm going to let her tell a little bit more about her own story. But when you meet Bridget, I guarantee you're going to love her. Come on in, Bridget Johnson.
Welcome to one of the best forums Master Builders has put on. I have enjoyed it totally. I am so encouraged and built up by what I've heard. I want to tell you some lessons that I've learned from my businesses and getting started. Number 1, you cannot let the fear of what others say about you hinder your success in your business. Listening to what other people say about you can hinder your success in your business. When I first started off with Creatively Invented, I was a school teacher going back to school at the age of 45. And somebody said, do you really have what it takes to go back to school at the age of 45? I could have listened to those negative words, and I could have let those negative words take root down in my spirit. And that would have set the limits on me going back to school. Well, I didn't listen to that. I had to flip those words, and I had to get on the offensive with my faith-filled words. And I had to say, I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. See, you have to take those negative words and you have to flip them, and you have to be on the offensive with your faith-filled words. I went back to school at the age of 45. You hear me, don't you? I said 45. got my associate's degree. Right after that, I got my bachelor's degree. Currently working on my master's degree. If I had to listen to those negative words about what people were saying about me, I wouldn't have never continued on. Was a stay-at-home mom, never had any form of educational background at all, but I persevered. I turned those negative words. I got on the offensive with my faith-filled words. And so I want to encourage you today. That's how I started Creatively Invented. And after I started Creatively Invented LLC, where I'm a children's author and I create fun, catchy, hip-hop educational products for home and school for children, somebody said, is that something you want to do the rest of your life? There's no money in that. You might as well just give it up. There's no profit in that. Well, if I had to listen to those words that were being said about me and me dressing up, somebody said, you look like a clown. You might as well just stop it. If I had let those words set down in my spirit, they would have hindered me from, I would have set limits on what I could do with Creatively Invented. I am now sought after to perform, just to dance around and sing children's songs. I've made $1,050 in 2 days, 3 days, just dancing around. But if I had to listen to those negative words that people were saying about me, it would have set limits on what I could do. And so another person said, you need to do something different. And I knew that I had more things inside of me. See, God has placed a potential of seed in every one of us. It's up to us to water those seeds with our words. See, you have to invite the supernatural into the natural realm. I had to start calling the things that be not as though they were. I heard those negative words, but I got on the offensive with my faith-filled words. Luke 1:37 said, with God, nothing shall be impossible. So I ended up starting another business called Legacy Dreams. The devil told me through people saying negative words to me that you're in debt, you'll never be. Somebody said, we're going to start an investing group, but we don't want anybody in it that has debt. So I went home and I thought about it. I said, well, Lord, I will never be able to be in anything. I got this, I got that. But I had to come home and change my mindset. I had to get on the offensive. And I started filling my mouth with faith-filled words. And right after that, I started calling the things that be not. I started calling the money in. And I started eliminating my debt. I paid off my house. And now I'm set on a financial path to just be debt-free. I am working on my second door. I acquired my second door. And I was telling everybody I want 10 houses by June the 30th. And they were laughing like, you think you're going to get 10 houses by June the 30th? You are crazy. I'm working on house number 3. And I just thank God that you have to get on the offensive with your faith-filled words. I don't care what people say about you. I don't care how small your business is. Despise not the day of small beginnings. Luke 1:37, with God, nothing shall be impossible. Started a third business called Tutoring the Prophets. There's somebody somewhere that will pay you for your worth, like Lakeisha and others have said. I have women in my membership that paid me $1,000 just to give them knowledge. Don't tell me what God can't do. Fill your mouth with faith-filled words today and start whatever dream you have inside of you, because with God, nothing shall be impossible to you. June 30th is my exit from my job. And I'm just giving God the glory that with him, nothing shall be impossible to you today. Thank you for coming. I'm just excited. I'm so sorry. I'm excited about what is happening in this group. And I thank God for Master Builders, Michael Ford Jr. and John Mays and all of these people. You have to get in a community where people are like-minded and where they believe in you. And yes, I have a coach. I have 2 coaches. And you do need somebody to guide you and tell you that there's somebody somewhere that will pay you for your worth and for what you do. And I'm giving God all the glory. Thank you.
Yeah, Bridget. Hey, y'all rewind that. Matter of fact, just stop right now and rewind it, because she just killed it. She just gave you a real life testimony about how you can let your words go before you, and how you can condition You can condition your mind to fight against the enemies around you who telling you that all the stuff that you can't do. Well, guess what? You telling me I can't do it because you ain't never seen nobody do it and because you can't do it. But that ain't got nothing to do with me. I love that, Bridget. I love it. I love it. I love it. Congratulations on them houses. Well done, Master Builder. Congratulations on those businesses. I hope you continue to excel in a major way. Next up, we have Mr. Melvin Little Jr. And if you don't know Melvin Little, I can't start reading off his credentials because he's been all over the world. He literally has been all over the world as a global missions director. He's already retired from a senior position in the fire department. And at the same time, he's done chaplaincy. He's currently a senior pastor. He's also a business owner, Hands to Heart CPR services. When you hear from Melvin Little, you just need to make sure you got your pen ready because he's going to drop some pearls. And if you don't catch it, hey, that's on you because you've been warned. Next up, Mr. Melvin Little.
Well, thank you, John. It is very much appreciated. And oh, how about that, Bridget Johnson? That was absolutely exciting. I just want to give you a little bit of information as it relates to when you're beginning your own new business. I want to talk a little bit about perseverance and also dedication to what you want to do. And because you're looking at a guy that really was not that person. I've given this same testimony, this same information before, that I was the guy that was not very organized. I was not very administratively sound. And but I wanted to change that. And first of all, Master Builder Academy has helped me do that over these last 4 or 5 years. But my wife and I relocated to Tennessee and Clarksville, Tennessee, and I'm pastoring a church in Hopkinsville, Kentucky. And so in my mind, I was thinking, I don't really have time to start another business. Our previous business was very, very successful. I enjoyed it. But we just kind of felt like, okay, that time is passed us by. But you know what? I had a little itch. I did my research, as Mrs. Andrea Ford talked about. I did my research, and I found out in this particular area, there are not a whole lot of CPR companies. And when we started the first business, a Safety Net LLC, a lot of the work had already been done when I came into the business, and we joined as a partnership. And so for me, it became somewhat of a challenge, and I began to have a little bit of doubt because I was saying to myself, you know what? I don't know. I'm going to have to do this, and I'm going to have to do this from the ground up on my own. And you know what? I said, no, I don't think I'm going to do it. But something else said, you can do it because really you are a master builders. And so I started the process of starting my business. And what I did that really, really helped me was I would take certain steps day by day. I would set daily goals to get certain things done in that particular day. So I would compartmentalize certain things to do, such as just basic things like registering your business, getting your EIN number. I was able to register Hands to Heart CPR services both in Kentucky and Tennessee. And it was a lot of paperwork. And sometimes the paperwork can become overwhelming. So listen to this concept. It's okay if you feel overwhelmed to take a step back, clear your mind, but make sure you get right back to doing what you need to do in order to reach your goal and reach your dream. John May said something not too long ago. He said he does not like the word try, because when you try, you're setting yourself up for failure. So here's what I said to myself. I'm not going to keep trying. I'm going to keep striving. So even if there's a little bit of a break in between there, it's not that I stop. It's not that I quit. It's not that I'm not trying. I'm going to keep striving to do what I need to do. And so based on the determination and the perseverance that I had to continue this business and to see it all the way through. Make sure we got the logo and the logo design. Make sure we got the cards and the paraphernalia, the shirts and things of that nature. I had to do that all on my own. And you know what? I was proud of myself that I was able to do that. All of these things that we did in order to start this particular business, we did it on our own, and we learned quite a bit from certainly being in business before with a safety net, but a lot of the credit has to go to Master Builder Academy. Listen, I got one more thing for you. I'm going to change one of the old adages that has been said for over the years, and I believe it was Shakespeare that said it. He said, to be or not to be. I'm going to change it up. You heard it here first. In order to be, you got to do. So I'm saying to do or not to do is up to you. And then if you do what you need to do, then you can be what you need to be. Thanks a lot. Have a great day.
Thank you, Melvin Little. Listen, I hope everybody, if you would right now, everybody just take a moment. I know you're being encouraged. I know that you're being empowered in this moment. Would you just go right now and hit the share button? Somebody else needs to hear. Somebody in your timeline, somebody in your group needs to hear this word, these words of wisdom, these words of instruction. Listen, is this Juneteenth or was it yesterday? I can't remember if is it today? Today's Juneteenth. Listen, there's a celebration that's going on. And the celebration is about you being liberated, you being free, you having the ability to go and do what God has put in your heart to do. There's nothing stopping you. There's nothing holding you back. The only person that can hold you back is you. And so I want to challenge you. I hope you all are taking massive notes. All right. Listen, Bridget came and she wanted to encourage you. It doesn't matter what people are saying about you. No matter the failures of the past, those were in the past. Let's now grow. Let's get bigger now. I want to bring this young lady, Miss Keisha Reed. She is a new entrepreneur, and I believe she just started her business maybe 2 months ago. And she's the owner of K Prince Graphics, graphic designs. Her name is Keisha Reed. Come in here and talk to us, Keisha. Encourage our hearts.
Good morning, Master Builders. Yes, I'm already encouraged. Bridget has me fired up. Everybody else has me fired up. And I'm not going to talk about anything that's too different. If you haven't noticed, with a bunch of our like-minded individuals who came up before me, who has been speaking, a lot of our things are still similar. We're talking and touching on the same things and the same experiences, but in different views and different points. So I want to zone in on apprehension. So when I think about apprehension of starting a business, I wanted to look up the word apprehensions first so I could break it down to you. Apprehensions is anxious or a fearful feeling that something is bad or unpleasant. So I want to underline and bring to you the biggest word in there, fear. That is what the biggest thing. Fear means an unpleasant emotion caused by the belief that someone or something is dangerous. So it's our belief. It's the beliefs that we see and we come in and we put it into our own mind. Now, it doesn't mean that it's a true fact or a state, but it's our beliefs. That's what fear is. Now, with a business, I realized with myself, these were the things that I fear. And I feel like a lot of people fear these same things. So it was fear of the unknown, fear of failure, and fear of success. Those are the things that were fear. I know one of those sounded a little off, but yes, these three are the fears that I had. When I think of fear of unknown, it was the situations that brought to me was like, well, there's so many people who's doing it already. What if they don't like my business? What if they don't really care about it? What if it's just like, nobody gets what I'm trying to do or bring to the table? And that was one of my fears. And I was just like, I just don't know. I don't know what's going to happen if I start. I don't know what's in the future. I'm too afraid to start. So guys, when I tell you, my friends have been telling me about what they call my, I don't want to brag on myself, but I will a little bit, that I got some artistic abilities in me. And they will look at my things and they will always tell me to draw things for them. And so they can start their businesses. By the way, they both have their own businesses right now that I've helped. So they would tell me, Keisha, why aren't you doing something with your talent? And I'm just like, oh, well, I don't know. I don't want anybody to see my work. It's just for fun. It's just a hobby. And then I literally pushed it off for years. I can't even say how many, probably since high school. So that was my fear of unknown. I just let it go. And so then I was just like, okay, all right, that's one fear. So then the next fear was fear of failure. That's a big one. Most people fear failure more than anything. It's probably one of the big starting ones is the fear of failure. And I come to tell you, failure is not in starting and not getting the goal that you wanted or reaching the goal that you wanted. Failure is never starting. Failure is when you never begin. You never started anything. So you failed yourself. And that's the biggest letdown when you think about it. Now that I look back now, I was so mad that I had not started when they was telling me to start. Failure is never starting. And then also with failure, it's not failure really. When you think about it, failure, you may not get where you want and you may start back at the beginning, but it's a new beginning because you now have that information that you failed on to up you up. So next time you start that business over or you start another business, you have a leg up because you already know what you have tried and done. And it's now an experience for you. And now you can gain and build on that experience. So I just feel like failure is not failure. Failure is a learning curve and it is something that you can build upon. So don't look at the fear of failure. The failure part is when you never start. And then the next one, fear of success. So this sounded weird, but when I thought about it, it's kind of true to me as well. I personally am, I know everybody says it, an introvert, but I am definitely one. I am good with being in the shadows. I'm good with being behind the scenes. I don't have to be in somebody's face. I don't like to be in crowds of unknown people. Just leave me be and I'm good. I even told myself, I'm going to work for somebody for the rest of my life. I'm okay with that. Well, not no more, obviously, but I realized the fear of success was coming and it was haunting me because I was afraid of like, well, what if I don't have time? That's what fear of success look like. What if I don't have enough time? What am I going to do if I get too much work? What am I going to do if I got too much on me? And those type of things will come on you. The fear of your success of your business, because you're going to, honestly, if you're working at it, you're going to start getting things coming your way. You're going to have opportunities come your way. You're going to have jobs come your way. You're going to have people come your way. And it can become overwhelming. It truly can, especially like, my business is only 2 months old to the day. So it truly is. I've already gotten jobs. I've done and completed jobs already and been paid for them. And now I'm starting to realize like, I got to find time. And so that's why I love what Nicole said. Find an exit strategy. Plan your exit strategy now. I realize I got to do that now. If my jobs keep coming in like this, I got to figure out like, listen, I can't work a full-time job. Some things I got to let go, but I can't let the fear of that success stop me from doing it. I don't want to retract and be like, oh, well, let me stop doing this much so I can make sure I have time for the job that's paying me a paycheck that it ain't really worth my skill and my aptitudes. So I have to stop fearing those things. So with those things, I just realized you can overcome fear, a lot of your fears by just the failure of the unknown is do your research. You can overcome that by doing your research. Simply put, Miss Andrea has said it before, do your research and do more research. You'll find out your competitors. You'll find out who is doing what out there. You'll find out what they've done and failed at before you. So you don't have to do it. That's wisdom, y'all. Don't do it and then not know when you can go to see somebody else and see what they did and failed. And then you can just build it from top of there. So do that, y'all. And then for fear of failure, the overcoming of that is just doing. Like Sarah said, just do it. It's that point. Just do it. The worst thing you can do is not do it. And for overcoming the fear of success is plan your exit strategy. Like I said, I'm not saying nothing new that hasn't been said. Plan your exit strategy. When you know that you're becoming successful, you need to figure out like, okay, y'all got to put more time into this because that's what's going to make me money more than this job or more than that, I don't know, hanging out, doing some hobbies. Plan your exit strategy. And that's really all I have to say with y'all. And I will want to end at this one little point. Master builders, if you're looking for like-minded people, that's wisdom right there. It says it. Matter of fact, I wrote it down. It says, who is wise and understanding among you? Let him show by good conduct that his works are done in the meekness of wisdom. That's from a great book, y'all. One of the greatest books I've ever read, in the Bible. So that's where it came from. And you can read it. If y'all want to go back, it's James 3:13. Wisdom is like-minded people who around you is have understanding. And then if they do have it, you'll see it in the jobs that they do. They don't have to boast about it. Nobody on here ever has to boast about it. You just know. Okay? So y'all have a great day, and I hope that helped y'all.
Great job, Keisha. Great job. Listen, I love what she said. Hope y'all just everybody put that in there. Everybody put in there, get started. Just throw in the chat for me and say, get started. Right? This is what this is all about. You know what Keisha's saying? She was like, well, people was telling her, you have a gift, you have a talent, do it. She said, I don't want nobody to see it. I don't want nobody to know. And it's a lie. You do want people to see it. You want people to know. Like, let's stop lying to ourselves. You do want properties. Like, well, I don't want to have to deal with them tenants. I don't want to deal with you. Stop lying. You know you want that money. All right? You want that freedom. You want that success. We keep making up excuses because we don't believe we can do it. So we make excuses about it. This is what this forum is about today. To let you know you can do it. All you got to do is just get started. She's been in business for 2 months. She said she got clients already. And listen, I love the last part she threw in there. Not free clients, clients that are paying her money. All right? This is what we are telling you this morning. Get started. You want success. You want freedom. You can do it. All right? Listen, I want to bring our last two speakers, Miss Dana Spencer. Dana is the poster child for Get Started, right? And then when she got started, Dana has already got her first real estate property. She's a real estate investor. She's also has a business, Pampered Chef business. I want to bring Miss Dana Spencer in and keep this conversation going for us, Dana.
All right, Master Builders. Oh my goodness. How to know when to pivot your strategy. First of all, you have to have a goal. And I know I hate that, but you've got to have a goal. You have to know where you're going. So let's say, for example, your goal is that you want to lose 120 pounds in a year. You've got to track your progress in order to know when to pivot your strategy. So 120 pounds in a year. So you need to lose about 10 pounds a month. Well, how much do you need to lose in a week? About 2 to 3 pounds a week. Well, what do you need to do today? You've got to know what you have to do today in order to achieve the big goal. And so in order to do that, you've got to take bite-sized pieces. So when you track your progress, now you know when you need to pivot your strategy. So let's say you thought, I'm going to lose 120 pounds doing keto. So you've lost 60 pounds doing keto, and then you're at a standstill. Do you keep doing keto? Now you've got to pivot your strategy and try something else to still get to your goal. You don't change your goal. Now you just change your strategy in order to get to the goal. So maybe now you start eating clean. Maybe you start being a vegetarian. Don't change the goal, pivot the strategy. So you've got to track your progress to know when to pivot your strategy. For example, Michael Ford just said, I bought my first rental property. My goal for this year was to buy 4 pieces of rental property. So I get ready to get my down payment together. My strategy was I'm going to use my Pampered Chef income in order to pay for my down payment. Okay, January, couple of $100 with Pampered Chef. February, a couple of $100 for Pampered Chef. Well, as you know, you need more than a couple of $100 for a down payment for buying rental property. Well, I remember somebody said, hey, you can borrow off your 401k. And I was like, nope, not doing it. Too risky. So then somebody else said that you can borrow money off your 401k. So what do? Research borrowing money from my 401k. Turns out I borrowed money from my 401k. I got my first property in March. So my thought process is, okay, I'm going to Airbnb that. The market is so good. Now I'm pivoting my strategy. I'm going to flip it. So you don't change the goal, you change your strategy. And how do you know when to change your strategy? Number one, by tracking your progress. And secondly, Keisha said it too, you have got to surround yourself with like-minded people. John Mays has said this before. If you are the average of the 5 people you hang around the most, let me say that again. You are the average of the 5 people that you hang around the most. So guess what? If you hang around broke people, you're gonna be broke. But if you hang around people who have already achieved what you're trying to achieve, you can learn from those people. So I know you're thinking, well, I'm broke. How do I get around the people who have already done what I'm trying to do? I'm glad you asked. Master Builders Academy, we keep saying it. I'm embarrassed to say it took my Aunt Mary 3 years of inviting me to come to Master Builders Academy before I joined. Don't be hard-headed like me. Join Master Builders Academy and surround yourself with people who are achieving what you're trying to achieve. And lastly, I'll say this. Right now, I'm in Memphis, Tennessee, at the NAREB convention, the National Association of Real Estate Brokers. Everybody is saying, are you a real estate agent? Are you a real estate agent? I'm like, no, I'm an investor. But guess what? People think I'm a real estate agent. Why? Because I'm surrounding myself with real estate agents. Surround yourself with people who have already achieved what you're trying to achieve, and they will help you to achieve what you want to do, where you want to be out of life. I'm telling you, Master Builders Academy is the organization that's going to help you to achieve what you're trying to achieve. So in order to pivot your strategy, number one, you have got to track your progress. And secondly, you have got to get around people who are already doing the goals that you are trying to achieve. That's all I got for you. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Dana. That's powerful. I want everybody to make sure that you got this now, because Dana really helped everybody. And if you're on the fence trying to figure out, I don't know if I'm going to do it, I don't know if I'm good enough, I don't know if I can get it done, she really has given you just what you need to get started. She says, take bite-sized pieces to reach your goal. Sometimes we're looking at, I don't know if I can do that. Well, maybe you need to take it daily first, break it down and say, okay, can I do this part first? All right, now I can do this part. Now I can do this part. And eventually you're going to look up and you're going to have just what you were looking for. To everybody that's looking to start a business, to everybody that's looking to get their first property, I'm telling you, there's more properties out there for everybody. You say, well, Michael, how come you telling everybody about these properties? Listen, there's enough for all of us. There's enough for all of us. And all you got to do is just what she said. Get around like-minded people, because you sitting there, your brain is telling you, I don't know how to do it. You can't do that. You've never done it before. Guess what? Many of us had never done it before. But all of a sudden, we got with like-minded people, and they showed us, do this now, do this now. All right, now go do this. And this is what we'll do for you at Master Builders Academy. I want to bring our last guest. Our last guest is Dejan McCarley. Dejan is a young entrepreneur. He's a young master investor. And so I want him to come on and give him, I want him to talk to us and give us our last point of the afternoon. God bless you, Dejan. Come on in here.
Good morning, everybody. Dana, that was a great word. Thank you, brother. Thank you, Brother Mike. I wanted to get with everybody and talk a little bit about consistency. It goes hand in hand with what Dana just spoke about, taking bit by bit. A lot of that just comes with, just doing. The action a lot of the times is just doing and being consistent in the doing. How do you expect to get somewhere or to achieve something if you're inconsistent? Everybody in business has something that they want to accomplish. Somebody in real estate may want to own 30 houses by the end of the year. They're not going to get there by, doing a deal once a month. That's not going to cut it. In business, consistency is powerful. Consistency is key in business. In marketing, whatever your business is, when you go and you market your business, if you really think about all the giants that are in your market, they have a competitive advantage already over you. So it's a matter of being consistent and getting a foot in the market. When it comes to marketing, being on top of it every single day, doing what you need to do to push the envelope for your business, whether you're just starting it up or whether it's been around. All it takes is for one person to grab hold of your product and talk highly of it because you continuously market it and they've seen it marketed. And next thing you know, you're on the front lines. There's one product that I just saw recently on social media. It was a hair and beauty product. And Keisha Cole, for those of you who don't know who Keisha Cole is, this young lady, she was a small business. Keisha Cole is a big time celebrity. She ended up finding this young lady's product and has been using it for years, And she all of a sudden just decided to talk about it. Now, if the young lady never would have marketed her business, continued to market it, Keisha Cole has a huge platform and just decided one day, I'm going to talk about this product on my platform. And all of a sudden, like, her product blew up. Consistency is key in business. Wherever you want to go in business, be consistent. Like I said, constantly pushing the needle. These tech giants and these, real estate people and these clothing lines, they have a competitive advantage over you. One person that I want to point out in being consistent and being able to not taking no for an answer and continually to drive is Jamie Siminoff. He is the Ring Doorbell founder. He is the chief inventor of this product. All of you know what Ring Doorbell is. In 2013, he went to Shark Tank to pitch his business idea to the sharks. They told him it was not a good idea in 2013. They told him it wasn't a good idea. He asked for $7 million. They told him he walked away with nothing. Now today it's reportedly worth over $1 billion. And he did not take no for an answer. He continuously pushed through and was continuously consistent in what he wanted. He believed in his business. He believed in himself, and he continuously pushed the envelope, being consistent in marketing, being consistent and pitching his ideas, taking no. No is not always a bad thing. No, it teaches you how to market. No teaches you how to go and sell. When you hear no, people sometimes get discouraged. No is not always a bad thing. It's a learning experience. What could I have done better? So being consistent in, marketing, being consistent in driving your business. Consistency is so important. A lot of people want to reach here, want to reach there, want to do big things, but don't want to go out and do, and don't want to be consistent in the doing. And in business, that's something that you have to do. That's a non-negotiable in business. Thank you that's my time. And thank you, Master Builders, for having me.
Great job, Dejan. And it's funny, I want to tell you a little bit about what I do. Is not only do I take notes on my legal pad during this, but I also make sticky notes. And here's Dejan's. Be consistent. I put these all over. This is going to go on my bathroom mirror. Invest in you. Work for the right clients. This is what Shandy said, and she's right. I fired a client once. It was the best thing I ever did. I'm going to put this at my desk. And then being an active listener, that's going on my computer or my phone somewhere around there, because I have a tendency not to be the best listener in the world. So, honestly, just when I think these forums can't get any better, they do every single time. So we really hope you've enjoyed it. Hope you've taken really good notes. Now, remember, you can always go back, watch any of our forums on Facebook Live and on YouTube, and share them with people. And you may say, I don't know if she's going to share it anyway. You'd be surprised how many people can benefit from this. So share the forums and even talk about your takeaways. Put your takeaways in the chat. Put your takeaways on your Facebook or on your Instagram or whatever you're on today, or your Twitter. Twitter could use some good news once in a while and some positive stuff. So the forum, again, all of this information, these are from experienced people. And I'll tell you something, I used to teach Dale Carnegie. And do you know how much that costs? Okay, let's say a lot, okay? It's thousands. So companies pay for Dale Carnegie, not individuals, because individuals really can't pay that. The information you're getting here, it's free. It's absolutely free. Everything that we've just given you is something that some of this stuff isn't taught in Dale Carnegie. It's not taught in Toastmasters because it's all about entrepreneurship as well as building yourself up, building your company up. We're here for you, and we're here as mentors and as friends and as a community. But you can take it a step further and become a member of Master Builders Academy. Now, if you want to become a member, it's $100 for adults, $50 for students. That's for the whole year. That's for the whole flipping year. Come on. That's nothing. So we'd love for you to join our community. It's an opportunity to have your business highlighted on the MBA platforms, access to all the materials presented in the forums. You have an invitation to join our private members-only Facebook page. You have an invitation to members-only events and members-only after party. Now, I know we've been kind of sneaking you into the after party recently, but that's going to come to a close soon. So really, invest in you. And invest in Master Builders Academy. It's Master Builders Academy, MBA@gmail.com. That's where you just send us an email. We'll send you all the information and we'll bring you in. We would love to have you as part of this community. And just like, forgive me, Dana was saying, you're the 5 people you surround yourself with. You're going to get a lot more than 5 people here. You're going to get a whole family of people ready to bring you up and help you to do great things. So, as we always do, we're going to end in prayer. Father, we want to thank you so much for this incredible group of people. Thank you for this forum. Thank you for this opportunity to share with one another. Thank you for this opportunity to bring us together as a community, as entrepreneurs, as people, as families, as parents, and help us every day to be better and to be better for ourselves, to be better for our children, to be better for our communities. In your name we pray. Thank you all so much. Amen.